Yes, yes. Welcome to the Tottenham Concept. I've done it. I've made my own channel. Look, I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It's one of those things, isn't it? Really, when you start something new, you're always a little bit apprehensive. But regardless, we're here, and let's try and do something. And again, big up your damn selves for clicking on the video. I appreciate it. Any support that I get, truly, it means a lot to me. And long may it continue. Let's try and build something here. If you people only knew how many times I fucking restarted this video, good Lord, this is it now. I don't care if I make mistakes. I'm done. Okay, what you get is what you get. I can't keep fucking starting this video over. I will say there has been a bit of a cock up. This wasn't the video I initially wanted to post for my first one. I did have an arrangement with two other people that I'm online with regularly. Unfortunately, one of them couldn't make it due to a prior arrangement, which is fine. It's no big deal. We'll run it back and we'll go again. I'm not that guy to give names as to who that was, because I'm not like that. I keep things confidential, but if you know, you know. Okay, if you know, you know. Yeah. But listen, that'll come out. That'll come out in the next couple of days. Hopefully tomorrow. I think that's when it's been arranged for. Where to start? Where to start? Okay, so look, listen. The game's been played. We now know what's what. It's very exciting. But before we get into it, I'd like to mention the star of the show. Spurs play. Spurs play. Spurs play. What are we doing here, guys? 50 quid. 50 quid. I clicked on the video, put it on the old TV, started pausing, brought it back off the TV. I then get a message come up saying, oh, the site's become too popular. We're experiencing issues. Nice one. And then on top of that, the audio was shocking. You have one guy that I can only describe as either letting off a lot of wind or was sitting in a rich Corinthian leather chair, because I don't know what that noise was for the first 5-10 minutes of that game. Good Lord. And then, bless him, I don't know who he is, big himself up, but some guy was complaining about some sort of wire on his leg. Top drawer stuff. Spurs, real professional, love it, absolutely love it. But aside from that, let's carry on with the actual game, shall we? Listen, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I'm alone in this. I probably am. I was more excited about watching this game than I would be if England got in the final. Now, again, I might be alone there, but I don't care. I'm Spurs through and through. I have suffered enough with Tottenham. I don't need to then watch another team that does the same thing to me. No thanks. I'm out. I am out. But listen, the show is titled They Are Them, and they really are them. We'll get to that. We all know who I'm talking about. Fernandes and Tonali. Real good. Real good. Right. Where to begin? You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think what was nice yesterday, I was thinking it was today then. What was nice yesterday was we were starting to see patterns of play open up. We're starting to see a new kind of Spurs. And again, look, listen, I know it's only MK Dons. I'm aware of this. I'm aware it's like men versus boys, and it really, really was. But you know what? You can only comment on what you see, right? And what I saw for the first 45 minutes, I was very happy with. We were in complete control. Like I said a moment ago, you're seeing new patterns of play. You're starting to see De Zerbi, putting down his style, which I'm really excited about personally. Something I did notice is our pressing in the first 45. It seemed to have a bit more control about it. Like when I think of Spurs pressing before I watch this first half, I think of a bag of cats. It's just press whenever. There's no like team cohesion. It just seems to be, like I said, a bag of cats. It's not good. But this time round, there seems to be a lot more thought to it. I initially thought, and forgive me for saying this, I thought Spurs would play a mid-block, and I was completely wrong. We were very front-footed with the pressing. It started from the front, and it remained that way. I can appreciate that because, even more so with that pressing, I noticed, right back, right midfielders, they were. Do you know what? Right, when you watch Barcelona press, they hunt in packs, and I saw elements of that yesterday. I was over the moon with it. The only thing I did notice, which concerned me a little bit, right, is, and again, it could have just been an individual instruction, but Conor Gallagher, I don't know whether RDZ had said, look, listen, mate, go press, that's your game. And by the way, Conor is not a cam, it was donkey work. I'm sorry. And Solanke can put himself in that category as well. Yeah, I don't know if it's like an individual sort of instruction to him, but you know, and I'm sure you guys know this. If that's how RDZ is going to play going forward, well, I don't know how James Maddison's going to do that because the boy is made out of papier mâché. You know, listen, James Maddison is a great player. It's fantastic. His GA speaks for itself. You know, it's unquestionable, really. But given, you know, his injury issues, he's not going to be able to press like that. So it was definitely something I sat and thought about, you know. But again, it could just be an individual instruction, which would make sense as well. But it's just something I, you know, wasn't so sure of. You know, the title of the video is them, the midfield. Wow. Wow. What a difference a day makes. You know, the change in dynamic going forward with both Fernandes and Tonali in midfield. It's night and day to what we've been used to, right? It's so nice to see players that are interchangeable, both have ability to go forward and back. And the thing is, you know, you look at someone like a Tonali. Tonali, for me, you know, is always looking to make things happen, always looking to go forward. God damn, he's quick as well, by the way, like quicker than I thought he was. And I'm a big fan of Tonali, always have been. I've been watching him since Brescia, whatever the fucking team's called, you know what I'm talking about, before AC. Yeah, just always looking to make things happen, you know, sharp, intelligent, snappy passes. I absolutely loved it. It was so nice to watch someone of that quality in our midfield, you know, because it breathes confidence, doesn't it? And then you've got the likes of Fernandes. Now, Fernandes, I'm another huge fan of and have been because where we're in that relegation battle with West Ham, I was watching a lot of West Ham. So I was seeing what he was doing. So I knew what he was capable of. Fucking, I need to breathe. And there's nothing really in the cup. Great. But Fernandes, for me, what a player. What a player. His ability to play make from deep cannot be underrated either. I mean, you know, we know what he did at the start of the game, but I saw a couple of passes from him that I just thought, wow, you know, we need that. This is something we've lacked at Tottenham. And I'm just fucking happy we've got it. Like, it fills me with so much confidence going forward. I'm really excited about it. Can they do it in the Premier League together? I don't know. You know, they're definitely going to have to build up a relationship between the two because the thing is, they are very similar. The type of players that they are, they're similar. So sometimes that could almost suggest that it might not work. I mean, look, we're going to have to wait and see. But what it looked like to me today, again, I know the opponent, but they bossed that midfield. And every time they received the ball, it was just exciting for me, you know. So I couldn't be happier. But like I say, the types of players they are, good God, you know, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Midfield is no longer a problem for us. It's going to be so nice going into this new season. And I, for one, I'm super excited. Super excited. What else can we say? Do you know what? I've already gone fucking blank. Let's talk about the goal. Fernandes' goal. Listen, that's what 85 million gets you. Not a bargain, you know, not a bargain bucket kind of signing, not an opportunist signing, a signing that, you know, clubs like Real Madrid were looking at, you know, Arsenal were looking at. This is an informed player and someone that is highly touted. This guy is him. Now, again, I know we all know Tonali. Tonali is way more established, but don't take your eyes off this Fernandes. I honestly think in the next sort of few years, he's going to be right up there. He really is going to be right up there. Do you know what, right? I've had to stop this video and start again because of phone calls and fucking alarms going off, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, back to it. Like I was saying, Fernandes, he's going to be great. I cannot wait for this Premier League season to start. I can't wait for this Australia run either. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I'm not excited to watch it on Spurs play because if they're having trouble, you know, broadcasting from England, what's it going to be like from Australia? I don't know. But yeah, that goal, the level of technique. I mean, look, people take pot shots, sure, but just watch the technique in the strike. The guy knew what he was doing. He knew where it was going. He had intent, vicious intent, and it came off. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was so nice. Spurs players were laughing about it. They were sort of giggling around the pitch. It was what a way to strike your debut game in. God damn, unbelievable. I could not be happier. I really couldn't, because, as I said previously, we all tuned in to see them too. Let's be honest. But yeah, other than that, the defending was nice. I will say this, defensively wise, you know what I mean. Kota Takai, is he it? I'm not convinced. Look, I saw a lot of space open up for him where he could have made far better plays. He could have driven with the ball. He could have sort of got the ball further up the pitch. I sat there and I thought to myself, I would have loved to have seen JP, old Jean-Paul Van Heck. I'd have loved to seen him today. And I understand he's just come back and he can't play. Fine. But I just think in those situations, captain line breaker, it would have been so nice to see what he brought to the table. And hopefully in the next few games, we're going to see that, because I swear if that phone goes off one more time. Yeah, hopefully in the next few games, we're going to see that. I cannot wait for our first 11 to take the pitch, our full first 11. It will be a day I'm very excited for. Your Kulusevskis, your Kuduses, your Van der Vens, your Van Hecks, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for what's ahead. Let's move on to the second half. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything out, guys. I'm not restarting this damn video. I'm going to be really annoyed with myself after, because I watched this back and I'll be like, right, you completely forgot to mention that. It is what it is. But we'll move on to the second half. Now, I won't lie to you. Soon as I saw Richarlison come on the pitch, I clocked out. I can't see that guy in a fucking Spurs shirt anymore. Please get him out of the club. I can't. I can't. So either way, I watched a few bits, I glazed through it, kind of thing. It was just like misty eyed. It was, terrible. But as for youth players, right, and most of the players that came on were youth players, bar Richarlison, whatever his name is. Gonna be honest, I don't care about youth players. I'm not even remotely interested. I don't give a shit. Now, I know that sounds bad, but I think the sorry state Spurs have got themselves into, I'm not looking at youth anymore. I'm done. I don't care. We've spent the last 3-4 years looking at youth, and it's got us nowhere. And the reason why we're not taking kids out of our academy is because they're shit. Bar 2 of them. And I'll talk about them now. So Mikey Moore. Listen, if I had a choice between Matthews Tell and Mikey Moore, I would pick Mikey Moore. And I'm going to base that on one thing and one thing only, right? When I see a player like Mikey Moore, when I see a player like Matthews Tell, he's predictable. I know what he's going to do. It's boring. He's a modern winger. It's boring. He had a few moments last season, but that was it. That was it. Nothing other than that. He's not massively progressed. He's not turned into this player we thought we brought. He's meh. But with Mikey Moore, when he gets on the ball, whether you feel he's a good player or not, I mean, he's not even a complete article yet. And bless him, he has put on a little bit of iron. So, he's building. Whether you like him or not, for me, when he gets on the ball, I feel like something is going to happen. I feel like something's going to happen. He's going to make some magic. He's definitely got that capability. He's on the way. He is on the way. So for me, if I had to pick between the two, I would take Mikey Moore all day long. All day long. Then we're going to move on to Luca Williams Barnett. I think that's his name. Don't crucify me if it's not. Because I know some people are very touchy about the youth players in Tottenham. I don't know why. But either way. Yeah, Williams Barnett, he looks a good little player. To be fair to him, he looks a good little player. Now, I thought he was a winger, so I found it strange he was playing in midfield, but whatever, he did his job. I mean, like I said, it was men versus boys, so they weren't really offering us that much threat, were they, really? But yeah, let's talk about him for a moment. So I'm going to make a comparison. Don't bite my head off. I'm going to compare him to someone in a certain aspect. So I noticed with Williams Barnett, he's got a fantastic ability to glide past people. A bit like Dembele. Calm your tits. I'm not saying this is as good as Dembele. I'm just saying his ability to stride past someone, glide almost. It was a bit reminiscent of Dembele. Obviously nothing else. Look, the kid's got an eye for a pass. He's got decent movement. I mean, if I was going to pull anyone into the first team, like sort of incorporate them into the first team, it probably would be those two. But for me, that's about it. Do you know what? I've just remembered something. I didn't talk about Kinski. Now, I know he didn't have a great deal to do, and I will go back to Barnett. I know he didn't have a great deal to do, but god damn, is he comfortable on that ball? God, I mean, it's like the Ronaldinho of goalkeepers. Of course, I'm being a bit facetious, but yeah, he's very comfortable on that ball. I mean, I think he jinked a couple of players twice. Um, that's some confidence. I mean, I doubt he'd be doing that in the Premier League, but I was impressed. I mean, it's a shame he didn't have much to do other than that, but whatever. But yeah, going back to Barnett, I would bring those two in if I could. I mean, it's either that or send them back out on loan. I personally, I think Luca should probably go out on loan because, like I said, he's got something there. I think there is something there. And the same with Mikey Moore. There's something there. There is. And if you can't see it, you can't see it. But for me, they've got something, but they need first team experience. I know Mikey got a year at Rangers, but maybe stick him in a harder league and see how he gets on. Like a championship. Like for me, championship's probably the hardest league in the fucking world. It's just non-stop. It's horrendous in the championship. I'd do the same with Barnet if I could. But if that isn't to be the case, then I'd be happy to sort of start to bring them into the first team. Like I said, they've got something, right? But overall, look, I was really happy about the game. I know most of it I focused on the first half, and I'm sure most of you did as well. But overall, it was nice to see that De Zerbi stamp. It was nice to see real quality. We can't go into the season without a striker and a winger. I can tell you that much. It can't. I've advocated for Solanke before, but he's not someone that's going to make something happen. I mean, I think I would prefer a Defoe type for Tottenham. I'm not suggesting Krupi, but he does sort of fit that mold. But again, you can't guarantee goals, can you? With him, his age and the price point that he'd be at, that's a lot of pressure. But yeah, maybe we get away from these big, lanky, useless type players and go for someone a bit more like, Aguero, Defoe's. I know they're a bit different in quality, but you get what I'm saying. The smaller type. Maybe that's the way forward. And I hope that will be the sorts of players that De Zerbi are looking at, that type of player. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the game. It was fun to watch. I'm just pleased that we're back because, like I said, every time the Premier League season ends, I'm depressed. I've got nothing to do. I've got nothing to look forward to. As you get older, do you know what I mean? That your comforts get less and less. And aside from that, it's fucking food for me, and that does not do me too well. So I need Tottenham in my life. Whether or not they make me suicidal is besides the point. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased they're back. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up now because we've been going for 19 minutes. I really appreciate you clicking on the video. If you've got this far, I appreciate you even more. Listen, do me a favor if you can, share this video about. Let's get something cooking. Hopefully I did an all right job. It is my first time, so I'm a little bit nervous. And I don't go too in depth with players. I just try to look at things as a whole, and I only ever give my opinion. I'm not saying anything I say is for fact. It's just solely what I think, and you don't have to agree with me either. So. But like I said, I'll wrap it there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for taking the time, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.